Alright guys, welcome back to the next stage of the Keep It Simple series in painting and preparing remote control car shells. I'm going to be focusing still mainly on the 112 Mardo bangers and stock cars. And in this episode number 4, we're going to be talking about filling space on shells and how you can do that using acrylic paints and paintbrushes instead of stencils and airbrushes, which are obviously a lot more expensive and a higher maintenance rate. So what we're going to be focusing on today is painting checks. It's going to be a short video, I'm aiming for under 5 minutes, quick upload, useful and helpful. So we're going to do some simple black checks on either side of this number and with some little white highlights in them. It's going to be really quick and really simple. So the equipment we're going to be using is our Pro Arte 10-0 miniature painting brush. We're not going to be needing the fatter brush today, so you can put that aside. We're going to be using a plate to mix our paints with, a McDonald's tea stirrer to stir the paint up to make sure it's a good consistency, and we are going to be using the acrylic paints we've been using throughout the rest of the series. If you haven't seen the other videos in this series, either visit my channel or the links will be in the description to watch those videos. So today we're going to be using our Mars Black, which I think is De Laroni acrylic paint. It's quite cheap. All acrylics cheap and easy to come across, so that's all good. So we're going to, first step is to mark out on the shell what we are going to be drawing. So we're also, for this, sorry I forgot to say, we're going to be using our pencil. Everyone has pencils, so it doesn't matter. So the first step, we're going to be drawing a grid for the checks to be painted in, but we're going to use the slant that the numbers have. So you can see the numbers aren't standing upright straight like this, they're actually at a bit of an angle. So we're going to be using that same angle for the checks, and by doing that it'll make it look uniform and correct. So the first step is going to be to draw a line just there, just following the line, I hope you can see that, of the slant of the numbers, and we'll do the same on the other side, about 5 mil away from the numbers. And then we're now going to be doing parallel lines to the top and bottom of the numbers, just down. This is just a guide, by the way, so it doesn't have to be neat. And then we're going to be trying to copy the same angle as that line to create a pencil square. And I'll do the same on this one, just quickly, I don't need to pause the video. So then follow this line, the same angle, just like that. So now we've got our 2 squares, and now we're going to divide them up into the actual checks themselves. So we're going to do 2 lines going up here, because you need to look at it and you think, how many can I fit in that? So we can fit 2, 2. So we're going to have 3 wide by about 4 down. So still following this line, I'm going to go 1 up, 2 up, like that. And then along, we're going to try and fit 4, so 1, 2, 3 lines in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 checks. So I'm going to do this on the other one, and then I will pause the video now and then pop back when that is finished. Okay, so then guys, I have now finished drawing the checks on that side, and I've just very quickly done some scribbles in the opposite checks. So these are the ones I'm going to be painting. So I've scribbled this one, missed one, scribbled that one, missed one, and then there. So it's opposites, so to form the check. I hope you can see that easily enough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our black paint, give it a little shake just to make sure it's reasonably well mixed. Put a healthy size amount like that onto our palette. Let's see if we can find our, here we go, we've got a clean end of a stirrer. Just give that a little stir just to make sure that, although we're not mixing colours, it's good to make sure that it's not watery. Sometimes the paint can actually separate side tubes, so it's always good to give it a quick stir like that. And now we're good to grab our miniature brush and start painting. So again, get quite a healthy amount on the brush, like that. And then you're going to pick one of your middle squares, because these ones are going to be painted completely in. So we can start like we have in the previous videos, just following just following the lines like so. Very simple. Just following in the lines and then just fill that in with black. So what I'll do is I'll do that for these squares, but before I go, I'll show you what I'm going to do on the other ones. So the ones where there's not a square attaching, we're going to do the same fan style that we did in the last one, but we're not going to worry so much about the blending in because it's not as important. So we're going to do the two lower corner lines, just like that. And then in the middle, going from the centre, pulling outwards, you always do that when you're fading, from the centre towards out. We're going to get a little bit less paint than that on my brush actually now. And we're just literally just going to pull it out, just like that. Simple as that. I'm going to do that on all of them, fill these in, and I'll be back to show you the almost finished result. Okay, so now we've finished painting all the checks in black. So with this side, there wasn't enough room to fit three, so we just did opposites going down. And this one we did one more on the bottom. We finished the fanning. We're just washing our brush just to make sure it stays in good condition. Like so, and now we're just going to get a tiny bit of our white paint. You can give it a shake rather than a stir when it's in these almost tub bottle things instead of the tubes like it is with the black. There's our white ready. We've waited for the black to dry, and what we're going to do is, if you remember in the video we added this fade, we talked about the global light coming in from this angle, so we need to replicate that with the flags. So they're not quite dry actually yet. The paint is still a little bit wet, so I'm going to pause the video again in a second, wait for the paint to dry, and then we're going to add the highlights where we can, just to add that final effect, and then this video will be finished. So we'll wait for the paint to dry and then I'll be back. Okay, so now the paint is dry enough to add the highlights, so we're going to be still using our fine brush. This time get a lot littler amount of paint on the brush. I don't think the camera's going to be able to pick that up, but it's just a pinhead on top of the brush is hair. So what we're going to be doing is just like we did with here, 2 dagger strokes. This time we're not going to blend it in. We're just literally going to do ding. So I'll paint it here and then I'll bring it up closer to the camera for you to see. So one there like that. Offer a bit more paint to the brush. Just like that. Sorry, like that. And then we're going to add the tiny little balls to the end of each dagger stroke like that. As you can see, I've done just a tiny little dot on the end basically. It sort of pronounces the highlight point like we've done on the 2 there. So now I'm going to do all the highlights. So when highlighting, you don't want to highlight the ones with feathers. You could maybe get away with a little lip along there and there. This one, yes. That one, yes. Maybe a bit along the top. But you don't want to be worrying about going all intricately round there, because it's not worth it. So I'll lay that down there, I'll finish it, and then I will come back and show you the finished product. Okay guys, finally we've finished the checks. There they are all done. I hope you like them. That is a very simple way to do checks without using an airbrush and masking off large areas of the shell. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope when you try it on your shells you're happy with it. That is, for a while, the last bit we're going to do on the Escort. Next video I'm going to be showing you how to remelt a Camtech roof fin to make it a more appropriate and flatter shape. So I'll be showing you how to do that, and then I'm going to be doing a little mini series on painting a roof fin by hand. So we're going to be painting a nice roof fin, and we're going to then be lacquering that at the end. And we're going to have that, put that on this shell, and when we finish that we're going to be coming back to the shell and we're going to be looking at doing longer words in different colours. Because I've had a request by somebody, I think it was like Oval Racing Online or something, to do colourful letters. I hope this will be okay, I hope it is for her, I hope it will help, but Again, if you've got any questions or suggestions, the comment box is the place, or the thread that I'll post on the Cantech page on Facebook. If you've got any ideas that you have or techniques that you found through painting baggings and you want to share them, I'm more than happy to make a video explaining them to people. If you could, message me of what they are and show me a bit how to do them, or you yourself could make a video. And again, that would help everyone, I'm sure, because there's no point hiding away all these secrets, which I don't understand why people want to do that. I'm all up for sharing them, and I'm happy to share everything that I've learned over the years of various people. And through doing that, allow other people to progress in the hobby and enjoy themselves. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode on doing flags. It has run on again. Honestly, it's a lot harder than you think to do a video under 5 minutes. I'm struggling with it, but again, it's a long one. I'm sorry for that, but I hope you're not too bored, and I hope you're be ready to check out the new mini-series on the roof fin start to finish. Alright, have a nice day.